Alright, so we're back. Let's continue this trial. Let's do this shit.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How is it any different?
How is it any different? Well, it's a Chihiro suffered a blow to the head with a dumbbell. So yeah. And the Genocide Jack cases, they were attacked with scissors, like for real.
Oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
Yep, a professional serial killer.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Oh, for real. Yeah, I actually like when I like it when real world items started being added to video games. That's what I like. Like mentioning ragu and Chef Boyardee, that's what's up. Like for real. Haven't ate Chef Boyardee in years though.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
See, most of them.
I got it!
Yep, definitely a
For
failure.
one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
I just like how Genocide Jack compares the killings to like Italian food and shit.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Yeah. Alright, post 7 hands.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Which Big Mac? The McDonald's burger or the character from My Little Pony? Like, for real. Definitely the burger.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. Nancy's vision would notice this.
I got it!
Yeah,
Is it because
Genocide Jack,
Chihiro was a girl?
even though you're about to see, even though that later on in the trial, they let's move on. Yeah, guys. Basically,
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
yeah, it's dudes that Genocide Jack kills.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
Oh, fangirl, real obsessed fangirl who's a serial killer.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
Really,
I would never
really,
kill for a
Genocide
reason
Jack,
as petty
lowly
as mere
cur.
survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
Yep, she always brings her scissors with her.
Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Like, facts. You don't know Genocide Jack already? Like, for real.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Oh, shit. Like, she the female Wolverine, like, for real. I don't give a fuck what y'all guys say. She's the female Wolverine, like, for real.
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you? Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. Person who called like Jack's case. Maybe it's your ass, Byakuya.
Here's my answer.
Because you're the only you're the
Byakuya,
only other
It's
person
possible
that knows
you could
about
have
this
found
shit.
out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Still got no words. Like, still fucking silent.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
I'm sorry, but Genocide Jack is funny as hell.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, When would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms, they're suspicious. Very suspicious, indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy,
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
on the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. And it makes it clear to everyone. You don't miss me at it, but not top base. Absolutely. Choose flashback. If you aim at the weak spot and hold down the Y button, then you'll memorize the weak spot. Memorize phase can only be shot once in a single true bullet. If you shoot or change the true bullet, it will disappear from the true cylinder. However, use this flashback feature as many times as you want. Seem to have an answer to a lot of contradiction. Alright? In this case, you don't use that, you won't refute anything. So I gotta use a flashback.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Damn.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Oh shit.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
That's a natural reaction for any.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
shoot!
Like what flashback?
No, that's wrong.
I need to think that
I'll
one
tell you
through.
what's so strange about that, because up until we actually discovered the body, We couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer. Interesting.
You admit
Very
it,
interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
Fuck you.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? He doesn't seem to care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're
Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between the case and the other Genocide Jack's cases is evidence proves that Byakuya is responsible. It's hidden there. What could it be? Alright.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again?
Yeah,
When
please
I
do.
want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with. It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Fuck.
Obviously, somebody else must have had it.
Hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
Okay,
Chihiro
let's
was
go.
some kind of.
That's right. Then there must be something very...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before.
No, that's wrong.
Busted, motherfucker.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do would...
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
You do have a point.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm and totally unconcerned. I think he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just...
Wait, pull up the transcript.
I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. Well, what was that just now? Something's not right. Joe's body was found in the girls' locker room. What does that mean? Can I really accept what Byakuya's saying is the truth? No. I don't think so. There's definitely something off about it.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
You're sarcastic ass. Like, for real.
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Bianca, did I just take you off guard? Damn. The story suddenly moved to a crime scene. Bianca, who has been so confident up till now, maybe Bianca never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Okay, let's try the posters.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Says the person who has small tits, like, for real.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker room. You know what I'm talking about.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was thrown away. It was moved. Oh, yeah.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
I think this is about to be the
No, she
reveal.
did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, fact.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Broken e-handbook, yeah.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah, I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook.
Oh, shit.
Shoot!
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have been.
No, I don't. She used this thing that was. Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Oh shit, I
If
missed
she had
it.
that, she could get into the
Boys' locker room, no problem.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really?
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have.
No, I don't. She used this thing. Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that,
Shit, I
She could
keep
get into the
missing.
boys' locker room, no problem.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really?
Okay,
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have.
No, I don't. She used this thing. Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, that's wrong.
yeah, that's wrong, bro.
No, I don't.
Why not?
Yeah,
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh, well then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
wow, Hero, you're such a fucking
I am
idiot.
struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
And is that it then? Joe is killing girls like room right now? Is Bianca's one there, really? Well, let's see. We're gonna see in the next video if Bianca was the one that did it. I highly doubt, but still. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.